How does one start a conversation to get to know someone? Logically, a conversation must always start with silence. There must be something that was said first. People have to go from saying nothing to each other to a point where someone says something to someone that is not in response to something that someone has said to them. Now, if you know a person well, you might have something to say to them. But me, not really knowing anyone, I have nothing to say to them. And they have nothing to say to me. Their first thought is not, oh, I should go talk to that person. Thus, they never talk to me. I'm the same way with them. When I see them wandering around, I don't have the instinct of, oh, I should go talk to them. So, reasonably, most humans just leave each other alone, yet somehow connections are made anyway. Conversations are had. Everywhere I go, people are seemingly laughing, or smiling, or otherwise somehow having fun with others, either through conversation or through some kind of game. I've never understood how something like that could begin. Again, with the philosophy of conversations needing to start with nothing, there must have been a point where the two of them had nothing to say to each other, yet they did. And why would they do that? Having nothing to say to each other, there's nothing they would stand to gain from talking to someone. Talking to a stranger, at least. Yet people know each other, somehow. People must have started as strangers, and they met each other somehow, and they started talking for some reason, despite there being no reason to do so. I remain in the dark as to the answer to this question. I've heard many people make interjections or exclamations, responding to something someone was saying to someone else, even though they weren't a part of the conversation. Somehow they feel an urge to blurt out something, just state their ideas from outside the conversation, and in response to that, sometimes other people laugh or smile, even the person who said that exclamation, whatever it was. I've never found that satisfying. I've tried that myself. If I ever heard something that I had something to say about, I would say something about it, but no one would respond. At least no one would respond in a way that I would want. And here comes the question of what I want as a response to the things I say, which I am unsure of to the answer to that. And I myself, in fact, desire to have someone to talk to have someone I could call a friend, to have someone I could interact with, yet there's no one that I have ever seen who I've wanted to talk to. Why would I have a motivation to talk to them if I don't know them? So, I must know them in order to talk to them to get to know them. I'm sure you see where the problem is. If I were to talk to a complete stranger about something, say, my sex-positive philosophy, how do I know whether they would be receptive to that? They probably wouldn't. But I must make a connection somehow, and I don't know how. I simply don't have the will to communicate with someone. To many people it seems so easy. They just do it right off the bat. Maybe it is with people they know, perhaps not with people they know, or maybe they are somehow striking a conversation with a complete stranger for some reason. They don't seem to strike a conversation with me, though, and I don't understand why. People somehow find it so much easier than I do to have fun with a conversation. Just go up and talk to them, it'll be fine. I simply don't feel the same way. And I've never seen anyone else who's like me, who sits out of situations and interactions most of the time just to be alone. I've never seen anyone who prefers to be quiet about everything and rarely ever talks, like I do. However, now that I think about it, those who talk a lot, or shout or interject, whatever you wish to call it, they call attention to themselves. Those who don't talk at all never call attention to themselves, so perhaps I just don't notice them. Much like people don't notice me and they don't start conversations with me. Maybe there are more people like me than I originally had envisioned. I pool all of these questions into something I call the humanity something. I've forgotten. Humanity complex, that's it. Humans have a strange urge to do things that ultimately amount to nothing. Whether it's going to a concert or talking about, I don't know, say the weather or the stock market to someone else. Topics of interest seem to be a subject humans are interested in. Just talking about things, not really doing anything about them. And yet, I find myself desiring this same thing, yet I don't want it. I have dreams, not sleep dreams, daydreams, of interacting with someone and having a good time. smiling and laughing like the other people I witness. Yet I have no interest in the things that can give me that, such as talking to someone. I never want to talk to someone, and from the fact that people don't talk to me, I can infer they don't really like talking to people either, yet they do talk to others. Perhaps they're just people they know, but if they only talk to people they know, how can they make new friends? Very strong word, that is. Friend? I've never had a friend. Never had someone who I enjoy talking to. At least not someone I can talk to right now. There have been enjoyable conversations I've had in the past, and I can't remember how those started. They're just flukes, I suppose. Flukes that I want to happen more often, yet they don't. How could I possibly make an effort to make those flukes happen more often? Who can say? I suppose all I can do is ask and wait for an answer.